Common conditions related to your liver are stress, migraines, period pains, constant anger or irritability, depression, paranoia, and others. I will be explaining how all these are caused and how acupuncture can treat the liver to clear all these symptoms. And towards the end of the video, I will demonstrate some acupressure points that you can use on yourself to help alleviate these conditions. Chinese medicine dates back over 2,000 years. The physicians of that time noticed that when each organ's function was poor, this produced a whole range of symptoms, and that treating that organ with acupuncture corrected the organ malfunction and hence cleared all the related symptoms. It was not necessary to know how the body worked at the microscopic level. All they needed to know was that a particular organ was not functioning correctly, and this produced certain symptoms. And if you treated the organ, the symptoms cleared. In clinic today, over 2,000 years later, the symptoms the ancient Chinese associated with each organ are still remarkably accurate. Whereas, the approach used by today's medics is to try to manipulate the body's chemistry. But the understanding is so primitive that such interventions often cause serious problems, which themselves are not even understood. The power of Chinese acupuncture lies in the fact that the physician does not need to know how the body works at the microscopic level, and the healing is performed by the body itself. So, what are the symptoms associated with the liver? You might experience a stiff neck and shoulders, a headache on the side or top of your head, or associated with your eyes, and sometimes with visual disturbances. In other words, a migraine. Dry or sore eyes, or twitching eyelids, anger, irritability or angry outbursts, discomfort at the front or back of the torso at the location of your liver, and typically a feeling of tightness or aching, and frequent sighing, which is your body's attempt to relieve this discomfort. Muscular cramps, spasms or twitching, fluctuations of mood, depression, paranoia, a lump in the throat feeling, dizziness, vertigo or high-pitched tinnitus, insomnia, where you are waking between 1 to 3 a.m, often with your mind doing creative thinking, such as planning and organising. And in women, irregular or painful periods, sometimes with tender or swollen breasts, with emotional fluctuations in the premenstrual phase. All these symptoms are associated with your liver, and if you have just a few of these, your liver function is likely to be stagnated. In an acupuncture clinic, this diagnosis would then be confirmed by the practitioner taking your pulses and examining your tongue, and by their general impressions of you. In Chinese medicine, we can detect the strength of each organ's function, and also the type of that organ's malfunction, by feeling the pulse at your wrist, which he will explain in another video. The liver would then be treated with acupuncture. In another video, I've explained how acupuncture works, how many treatments are needed, and the patient's usual experience. And there's a link on screen to that video right now. Common acupoints used in the treatment will be liver 3 on the foot, and bladder 18 on the back. Both these treat the liver directly and help to return it to its normal function. Both these acupoints are also good at preventing the liver stress building up to the point where more powerful symptoms result, such as outbursts of rage or even a migraine. What causes the liver function to stagnate? The most common cause is stress. I've produced another video that provides a detailed explanation. It describes how our mind is able to interact with our liver and that certain thoughts are able to block the function of the liver. And it also describes how to avoid letting stress affect you. There's a link on screen right now to that video. The liver 3 acupoint mentioned above is also a good acupressure point that you can massage on yourself to help treat your liver and remedy the effects of stress. It's located on the fleshy part of your foot between your big toe and the second toe. If ever you press this point and it feels tender, this means that your liver is currently stressed, and massaging this point will help. This is also a good point to massage when you feel a migraine starting, or feel any of the other symptoms I've mentioned, such as a stiff neck or hips, or even so-called sciatic pains, that is, shooting pains anywhere along the gallbladder meridian. And acupressure on gallbladder 20 can help to relieve a stiff neck or pains on the sides of the head. To locate gallbladder 20, move your finger from the spine outwards till you feel the gap between two muscles. Then slide your finger upwards in this gap till you reach the lower part of your skull. If you found the content of this current video helpful, I'd appreciate a like. As usual, that's all fascinating. How can I find out more? If you'd like to see more videos like this one, you could subscribe so that you'll be notified when new videos are published. In other videos, I will be describing how acupuncture works in greater detail and also covering all the common ailments, which organs they relate to, how the problems develop, and changes to lifestyle factor and thought patterns that can avoid the problems developing. But in the meantime, if you'd like to read more, I've placed links in the text below to 2 of my books, which provide much greater detail on the topics covered in this video. The first book is called Acupuncture Explained. This is intended for the general reader and gives an overview of the whole subject in plain language. The second book is called Acupuncture Today and in Ancient China. This is a major textbook that covers the subject in much greater detail. You can download several chapters free of charge by following the book's link in the text below. And there are also notes below that will be of interest to acupuncture students and practitioners.